that's about the pit millet. Then going to our sowing of seeds. The first thing we do is sterilization of the seedling tray.
So why
You
she's showing you how to sterilize? So one more thing, the reason why we select different seedling tray, aside the care we want to give them, is because of the time the seed is going to use in the nursery. Because if you are using this for your fruity vegetables, it takes longer period of time, let's say 21 days, 23 like bell pepper. Now if you are planting bell pepper here for 21 days, by 21 days they start before 21 days they start to die because there's not enough space for the roots to grow compared to this. So that's why we take preference in larger seedling holes to plant them compared to this. So for your leafy vegetables that don't take longer period of time, like let's say 7 to 8 days or so, to start, you can do them in smaller seedling holes because you know they are not staying long there before you can plant them. Compared to this that is doing like 21 to 23 days.
Question.
Okay.
If you explain this one.
Okay, this is also a seedling cup. It's just, so let's assume you have a plant that is going to take longer period of time in seedling nursery stage. So you fill this with your potting soil, your potting mix, and you fill it up and you plant your seed. See that the size here is bigger.
Yes.
So it will take longer. Let's assume it's taking like let's say more than a month or two that you want to leave it in this. It can still contain it before you go and transplant it. So this is just for probably mostly for research, people that want to do research on a particular thing. So instead of taking it to field, they fill it up and they plant their seed there.
any other question? Before we proceed to the sterilization.
No, it's the same. You see, go down on this one because
Okay.
maybe I was reading that maybe it's like tomato because of their root. See that this bigger for Sabi, what is his name?
This what?
Yeah, it says better for the root heads.
No, the thing is, for this seedling tray, you can use this for tomato. Since where you are transplanting is prepared, so you just have to know the number of days that you are using in nursery. Let's say you are using 21 days. This will still take it for 21 days before you transplant, so they'll be fine in this seedling tray. So instead of
Using this.
buying this one, so this will make it more arranged and you can move it. It's easier to move to for you to transplant compared to you moving one of this.
And economically, the substrate you use for this, you can't compare it to this. And since they will do fine here, so there's no need for us using this for tomatoes or bell pepper. Okay, so now to the
I have one
steril.
question.
Okay,
How much someone can have to get this one?
how much?
Amount, money,
Price.
price.
Okay. I think they will give you the list of the
Price
prices
and
after the class. Okay, so now to the sterilization. You get 10 liters of water and you use either hydrogen peroxide or hypo. But hypo is more common for us to use here. Can I get you? Okay, 10 liters of water to 10 ml of this hypo or hydrogen peroxide for the sterilization. The measuring cup has been calibrated already. Then next thing we do, if we have any particles inside our temperature, we try to remove it before we sterilize it because sterilization does not remove the dirty. It just wants to sterilize it. Then you dip it this way. You can use the water for as much as seedling tray you want. If you want to use 20 seedling tray, you can still use the same water
Okay.
for it. So the next thing, just try.
If, for example, you're in an area where there is no bleach, what can actually go for it?
Where there is no bleach,
Yes.
hydrogen peroxide
Okay.
or hypo, one of the two is okay. You can even use salt. Yes, salt
Okay.
too. Then the next thing is you scoop out. Don't compress it though. Don't
Okay.
compress the substrate. Just use something like maybe a plastic or your hand self and just use it to level it, but don't compress it. And the next thing we will do is we make a hole. It all depends on the kind of seed you want to plant. Use a big seed, then you make a bigger hole. But don't make it too deep. Just make a slight hole, not too deep. You see, because what I'm planting now is just a small seed. But if it's a bigger hole, you make the hole very big. It all depends on the size of the seed. But don't make it too deep so that the plants will not find it difficult to sprout. This is a lettuce seed.
Lettuce seed.
Yes.
lettuce seed.
So you just put it. And make sure it's only one seed you are planting in itself. You understand? Just put it. Then cover it. So once it's
Wow.
okay, it's fine like that. Yeah, good. Then continue with others too. Put it.
Just one seed, right?
Yes, just one seed per.
Okay, then after 7 days, how do you pull it out for to break
I'll
off?
show
I
you.
will show you that
Okay.
one want to transplant. So the next thing now is for us to wet the plant and move it to the nursery. Just wet. Hold water. Okay, before that, let me quickly add something.
It's a mixture of cocoa peat and what?
Film potting soil.
Cotton soil. Okay, in cases where you're using only cocoa peat, is there any harm if you mix it with water before you put it on the tray?
Yeah, I was about to commit to.
There is no problem doing that, but since I want to still wet it, that's why.
So,
You can still mix it with water before you use it.
so this is one way of planting. So there's another way also where you don't want to go through the stress of watering and all. So what you do is you mix your potting mix with water first, but not too much water. So you just want it to. Yeah, let me just pour. So what you want to do is just dampen it a little. You don't want too much water
You're not the one to do it. So I can just give someone to do this.
because you don't want to mess up your hand. And, so you see, it's not too wet. It's just a little bit damp. So what you want to do is you fill in the tray like this. So you see, I didn't compact it too much so that it's easier for the plant to emerge. So the same way what you just did, then you create your hole in the middle. You want it to be in the middle, not at the side, because over time when they start growing, some of them can their roots can come out and go into the next hole. So you want it to be in the middle. And again, if it's not in the middle, when they start to emerge, some of the plants will be getting water and the other one will not be getting the roots. So you want it to be in the middle. So once you put your seeds just the way as you just said, my hand is just too big. Just you can just use your pen to create the hole in the middle, not too deep. Then you fill it up. You don't have to put additional substrate, just the surrounding ones to cover it up. So everything will be fine.
So the next thing is next section.
No, the pressure is too much.
Let's use knapsack
So it's preferable you use knapsack instead.
because the pressure here will be so much.
I'm coming. Let me get the knapsack.
Okay,
Okay,
before you come back,
so-
then the next thing is labeling.
How often do you wet the plant? Once a
Okay.
day?
It depends on the kind of like the season we are. If it's like dry season, the plants they will usually dry up quickly.
Okay.
If it's wet season, majorly nursery just check before you wet them. Because sometimes their substrate might be wet, so you not over wet them. So you check first before you wet them. So the next thing is labeling. It's very, very important. So you just write the date which you are sowing the seed and the varieties you are planting. Even if you are not there, someone will know that okay, this is the date, this is the date we sow the seed, this is when we need to transplant it. But it's very, very important. After writing the details, and you just put it somewhere.
Okay. Sorry, Ma, you have to write the date when it's going to be.
No, just
Okay,
write the date.
you started. Okay,
sow the
okay,
seed
thank
and
you.
the varieties.
Okay, ma.
So all you want to do is just alright. So the reason why we're using knapsack is because the droplets, the water that is coming is not too heavy. Because if I use this watering can, the droplet of water that is coming can push out the seed that I just planted. So this is
See?
just a bit.
It's much treasure. Okay.
And when you are doing that, be careful so that the seed will not
Come on.
come out
Okay.
again. So after that, then we move it to the nursery. And the best thing, if you want to move it to the nursery, the best plant you can use is like a eye stuff, maybe a crate or a shelf or something, and make sure like it's not covered like this one, so that the water coming out of this
Go
can
through
easily
the
drain.
drain,
You understand?
okay.
But if you put it under something like this, the water will still be under. It can even cause fungi for the seed line. So that's it about the nursery. And each plant have the specific days they use in the nursery. For tomatoes, they use between 20 to 21 days. Why for bell pepper, we use 26 days to 28 days. For lettuce, they spend maybe like 7 to 14 days for that. Habanero, same thing, just like bell pepper. They use 28 days too. Okay, that's all for the nursery section. So we move to the
What about
greenhouse.
same pepper? Is it the same pepper?
Scent pepper. No, it's just like that one is leafy vegetables too. So it doesn't spend up to 20 days in the nursery. Okay. So let's move to the greenhouse for other practical. Okay. Okay, come inside.
Okay.
Please close it as you're coming.
Okay, there's water there. And water.
The other side. More space.
Slicer.
Okay, to transplant, you can't just bring the dry substrate and transplant directly to it. We have a lot of activities we do, introduction of microbial inoculants, then we fumigate the greenhouse for the new plant coming in because of pests and other things. We fumigate it, we introduce microbial inoculant and we drench the substrate. Because after you've done the first cycle, you drench it so that the water, the remaining, all the salt particles have been, the remaining of the salt particles that used for the former cycle will not still be on inside the substrate. So you need to drench it and remove So you remove the salt remnants from the substrate before you start sowing the maize. Sorry.
Sorry.
And if you want to transplant, maybe you are transplanting in the evening. In the morning, you try to open your drip for like 2 to 3 hours in the morning to remove any other particles that remain inside the salt particles that remain inside the substrate. Then this is how we go for the transplanting.
So
Okay, so-
the question you were asking the other time
Okay.
about how you are going to remove the seedling. So what you want to do is just a gentle tap around the lower side of the seedling.
Okay.
Then you can pull it out
Easily.
Oh wow.
to plant.
Okay. Okay, Matt, is there any issue when the beds start going green? Because I can actually notice some green, particles. Uh, is it?
Okay,
Is
the
it?
green
Yes,
color you're seeing,
yes.
that's because of the weather. For quite some while now, there has not been too much sun. It
Oh,
has been cloudy. So
Okay.
even there was not sun, the substrate will be really dry.
Okay.
Be dry. It's because of the water.
Okay.
So and there's one more thing I want us to notice there. If you notice this tree, you notice that some part of the plants, some are looking yellow, some are looking good.
Yeah.
This is as a result of they're staying too long in the nursery.
Oh,
So you don't want your seedling to be too long, to stay too long in the nursery. You want to prepare where you want to transplant them ready before you transplant them. So most of them are now growing. They are not getting enough nutrients compared to the stage at which they are. So that's why they are looking this way. So once they are transplanted, they start to look fine. So you don't want this to happen to your seedling.
Okay, I forgot something to tell you the other time. After sowing your seeds, maybe 5 to 7 days, you start seeing them bringing out leaves. The first leaf they bring out is first leaves. By that time, you still give them water. But after the true leaves come out, that means after the first 2 leaves, the next leaves that come out, they are the true leaves. You can start introducing your nutrients to them. Which major things we use is foliar plus. Mix it with water, 10 ml to 10 liters. Then you start introduce and make sure you don't apply it on the leaves. It
Okay,
should
on
be
the side,
the
the
root.
root. Okay, the root.
Because if you apply it on the leaves, it will burn the leaves. So this is how we go. You make it hole
Okay, wait. For anybody that wants to try.
and make sure this drip we are using is because it's soaker, it can bring out water at any point. But if it's the normal drip that we used before, that there is you make sure that where you want to transplant it should be
At the point of the
at the
emitter.
point of the emitter so that the plant will easily get the nutrient or water you want to give to them. Then you make a hole, dip it inside like this, then cover it. Yeah, fine.
So do you have anybody that wants to try it out? No.
Again, yesterday, with that pepper there. Why is that pepper? Because they have two drip line over there, but they are not in the same line. One will be there, one will be
Okay.
here. How do I now know the interval for me to be putting it?
Space them.
Yes, the
It's
spacing.
spacing.
Yes.
Okay, for this hawker irrigation, normally we have to get something like drip tape or measurement. Like you know that this plant is 60 centimeter in between them. Then you leave the space, you can get something like this. You know, this is 60 centimeter. After planting it, the next one should be somewhere like this. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay.
But for this one, you can easily locate it. This is the emitter, and it has already been calibrated to 60 centimeter. Then we plant the first one here, then the next one should be
Okay, so
the next one should be here because okay.
So what I want to explain concerning this planting is, this emitter is I think this is 20 centimeter there. So what you and the spacing for bell pepper is 60 centimeter. So what you want to do is the first one let's assume the drip tape is starting from here. You leave a space, you plant the first one, then you measure your first 60 centimeter to be so you leave, let's say, 1, 2, 3, then the next one will be here. So that's the spacing. So for this one, you don't want it to start at the same place. You want to leave like another, let's say, 20
in the middle,
in the middle here. So it will start from here. Then you now start counting your next 60. So it's not going to be alternating. So once this one is starting here, the next 60 meter will be somewhere around there. So it's alternating. That way, once they start fruiting, there will be space for them both diagonally and frontally. So does that answer the question?
Yes, yes. So it's just for spacing purpose.
Yes.
There's no any other
And easy accessibility to nutrient and
okay, little nutrient. So it's very important. It's also
It's
important.
It's very important because the plant will, they will grow to from branches so that the branches will not be eating each other. And if they might even break off. And even if you want to spray them so that it's easy for you to spray and do some activities on the plants.
Okay.
So concerning the spacing also, let's assume you have like a leafy vegetable that don't require much space. So then you can follow these emitters. So you can plant them very close and all these ones too very close because you know they are not occupying space. So you can compact instead of following the spacing.
Okay, a plant that will not
Take
have branches.
They will not take
You
space.
can at least make a little bit condensed.
Yes, exactly.
Dense, I say condensed, dense.
Dense, yes.
What is the depth? Do we have different, like now, the depth from here now down to the bottom?
So
Do we have different depths for different plants? Or can just maybe this level now? Maybe I want to plant, I want to make my bed. Don't have big money to buy plenty substrates. Can I minimize or economize what I have just to like spread this kind of depth?
so concerning the depth,
Thickness, that's what I mean.
how deep these
Yes,
seedling
this
will
should
go.
be.
So concerning the depth, this the situation is going to be addressed inside.
Okay,
So they will
yeah.
tell you different depth for
Yes.
each plant that you want to.
Any other question?
My question is, you just said this drip line is different from the, should I
Yes.
say, the traditional one, because this one, the points are already
Indicated.
identify where water will come out, and this one can emit water
At any point.
from any point. So how does that function? For example, assuming you have this bed now, okay, the plants are starting there, and this place no plants. What happens? Does it emit water here, or it's just where you have plants that it emits
No,
water?
what happened was you just did some uprooting around there. That's why you cannot get. That's why you're not seeing any plants there. So from initially there was plants there. So you can see this area is damp also. So the water started emitting from the beginning of the hose. So you can start
Okay.
planting from there straight down.
Doesn't
compared to
that,
compared
yeah,
to the
but
drip.
if it emits water anywhere, would that not lead to more consumption of water?
I know that's where your timing will come in. So once you know this is emitting faster, then the timing for you to open the valve will be shorter compared to this.
If you're using 15 minutes for this, then you'll be
You use
using
like 5 minutes or
minutes
2
for
minutes
this.
for this.
From what I know, we have
Okay.
I've seen another type of drip. It's not like this, but it's like also pipe.
pipe,
Yes,
black.
but it's not soft like this.
But it
it's
has a
black.
O2 like
You have is like this.
Yes.
Little bit solid, strong.
Yes.
What are the differences and what are the advantages and disadvantages of each and every one of this? Like that one, this one, and the other one I'm talking about.
So in our next tomorrow's class, those are the things they want to address to you concerning the greenhouse construction and the emitters too. So that we won't waste our much time here.
Okay.
So sorry, this one. How often do you have to wet this? For instance,
Okay.
yes, normal like traditional farming, they say it's wet in the morning and evening, So how often do you?
So mostly you want to fertigate your plants when
Okay.
there is sunlight. Mostly. So that should be around let's say morning around 9 to 3 in the evening. Because they need sunlight to be able to photosynthesize. So you don't want to do that in the evening when it is dark already.
Okay.
So they won't take off the nutrient. Most of it will just go to waste. So they will talk more on that in the afternoon.
Oxidation class.
Okay.
All right.
So I think that's what answered
Is
it.
that
Oh,
all?
thank you, sir.
Is that all? Any other question?
Okay, so we'll be moving to the next section.
Forgot water, the nutrient, would it be mixed inside the tank?
Yes,
Okay, inside the tank already.
yes.
Okay. I wanted to ask that because I was wondering. Tank.
Okay. So we're talking about the greenhouse activities. The first thing you
Sorry,
do
ma.
after transplanting, then at the second week you start dropping your staking line. This is the staking line. You start dropping it. Then you attach it to the binding wire or any ring on the greenhouse. Then you put it around the root of the plant just to serve as the support. If this thing is not there, the plant will fall
I'll
off.
fall off
You
here.
understand? So we serve as the support. Each one has their own support. That's the main thing. That's the first thing you do. This one is taking line. Then you do something like this, a knot, just to adjust it.
Okay.
Or moving it up and
Just 5
moving
points
it down.
or 5. 1, 2, 3,
No,
4.
don't look at this
Okay,
first. Just
okay.
this one. This is the first one
Okay.
I'm talking about. Then the second thing is double staking. Once the plant starts bringing out branches, they start producing fruits. Then you start giving them another support. If I should remove this now, this thing will bend.
Bend.
You see?
Okay.
Can you see? And if the weight of the plant is, if the weight of the fruit is too much,
Much.
it will break.
Right.
But if you are doing this double staking, it will serve as a support so that the staking line will be able to hold it up.
And
Tomorrow, for the field trip, I will show you a plant that will just start double staking and the staking line very well properly. These ones are old already, but that one is still young, so I'll show you the particular. So you form as much as you want. You might even do maybe like, you see the number of rope in each plant is different.
Different.
Number of staking rope in each plant is different. It depends on the number of branches.
branches, okay.
And the main thing why we are doing the staking and double staking, staking is for the support, and double staking is also to serve as support for the plant, and also for beautification of the greenhouse, and for easy spraying and movement in the greenhouse. If we do not do all these things, it will be difficult for us to move around if we want to do any other activities in the greenhouse. Tony, actually, sir.
Okay. Just what my partner said concerning the staking and double staking. So I think we have to understand something. There's trellising and there's staking. Mostly trellising is done for vine plants. Plant like, let's say, cucumber that they call on the floor, but you want them to be neater. So you create a vine-like shape, a trellis for them in box shape or square, something that can hold their vine so that they grow neater and they grow. While staking is done for pepper that have a branch, they have a stem that is not that strong, that cannot hold, just like tomatoes. So you stake them so that they will stand upright. You don't want most of your produce to go to waste, because once they start crawling on the floor, when you are moving, you step on food and this. So you want them to look neat and organized. So that's why you do the staking. So concerning the pruning now, what you want to do is you want to prune old leaves. You want to prune off old leaves mostly. So what you do is you go to your plants. Okay. Let's go to the tomato section. Let me show you the tomato. I'll just show you one.
just got an egg.
So what you want to do is you don't want to prune
Tomato, are you serious?
above fruit, because you want the fruit to be able to get nutrients through the leaves too, so that they can trap sunlight and they can do their photosynthesis. So what you want to do is you want to prune other leaves. Let's say this is below the fruit zone, it's not above. So you can prune off something like this. Then one more thing you have to consider is when you're pruning, you have to sterilize the equipment you're using. If it is even your hand, you have to make sure your hand is clean. If it's the scissors or the shears that you want to use, sterilize them. So mostly you use isopropyl alcohol, but in our own case we've used up ourselves. So I'm using fungicide just to prevent fungi from affecting the plant. So the right time you want to prune is mostly in the morning, so that the plant can heal through the day. So so what you do is you dip your scissors inside the fungicide, then you prune out the leaves like that. the old ones. So you want to keep doing that intermittently over time. Once the leaves are growing and the old ones, or you see that they are getting yellow, they are getting older. Or after, mostly after your first harvest. Most leaves that are below your first harvest region, you want to prune them off because they will be competing with nutrients with, for the new ones that are coming up and for the fruit also. So that's why it's pruned off. So I think that's all for salmon. Okay, yeah. The suckering. So like tomato now, compared to habanero, tomato tends to grow in a very funny way. So they grow by generating another part of plants that will come out. So what you want to do is this is what we call sucker. You see it's growing between the main stem and the branch of leaf. So this is a sucker that's coming out. So what you want to do is this sucker will start competing nutrients with other. So what you want to do is you prune the sucker off to allow the plant to grow in a very straight region. So if you notice there are some suckers there that have been pruned off. So that's how you recognize the sucker. It will grow in between the main stem and the branch. So it come out. That's so you sucker this. You want to remove this part of the tomato plant. Okay. So that's the sucker. Okay. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Species of tomato is this?